a couple of weeks ago, we talked about drinking from the cup of Yah. Yeah. And we noted that the cup of Yah is the mission or the journey that we as humanized spirits are on. And drinking from the cup of Yah symbolizes the various aspects of that journey that all of us have to go through. Each one of us is drinking from the cup of Yah. Each one of us in this room, in this auditorium, is drinking. Not only are we drinking, but all of humanity is drinking. The entire human species is drinking, and we will drink.
We will drink.
We will drink.
Okay.
And I want to read something. It was so profound for me. It jumped right out at me. It just grabbed me this morning when we were reading our portion of the week, and I want us to briefly turn to that particular thing, because I want us to take a look at that, because it's so important for us to understand what's going on. What's going on, you all? You know, what's going on with us as individuals, and what's going on with us as a collective, and what's going on with the human family as a whole. I want us to turn to the 7th chapter of the book of, I don't know, Ezekiel. I don't know if you all caught it. You know, did you catch it?
There's a lot in there, man.
Did you catch it? It was so profound, Sister Yvonne. Sister Yvonne, I'm telling you, it was so profound, and I want to hit on it briefly, and and then we're going to move on to some other things that I want to highlight with us on the Sabbath day. And I want us to pay attention to what we're dealing with and what we're trying to do. This is the book of Ezekiel, and we know that Ezekiel was a contemporary of Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Daniel. All right? And Ezekiel here in this 7th chapter is laying down the gauntlet. And listen, this happened about 2,500 and some 20 odd years ago. And listen, you know, you have often heard me speak about the fact that we are what? That we are living in what?
The historical moment.
That we are living in what, you all? We're living in a historical moment. Yeah, okay? We're living in a historical moment. And the historical moment that we, right now, as we're sitting in this room, the historical moment that we are living in is capitalized in the first few verses of this particular chapter. Listen to what it says here, and let us understand the significance of what is being said here. Look what Ezekiel is being motivated by the Spirit of Yah to say. Moreover, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, also, thou son of man, thus said Yah in the land of Israel, an end, the end, is come unto the four corners of the land, speaking in reference to our ancestors. Listen what he says here. Now is the end come unto thee. It's over for y'all. It's over for you all. It's over for y'all. And who is he talking to?
Israel.
He's talking to our ancestors.
Yes.
Stiff-necked, rebellious, hard-hearted, arrogant, corrupt to the core. I'm fed up with you.
Yep.
It's over for you. See, this is what the Spirit of Yah is saying through Ezekiel. It's over for you. You know how you get with your children. You just didn't let them go by and by. You done warned them over and over, and they still, and they out there, and you see them, and you look at them, and they look at you, and they go head on, you go head on, and then something happens, and then you let them know, I'm through with you. I'm through. It's time now for you You see what I'm saying? Have y'all ever experienced that? Old school people, they probably have experienced that because they have gotten their behind full. But Terrence, have you ever got your behind full? Okay, so he's in there too. See what I'm saying? See, this is what the Most High is saying to Israel as a nation. Because we have been a stiff-necked and rebellious people. And we are. And we have been. And the Most High is letting us know that it's over for us. Look what he says here. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all of thine abominations. Look what it says here. And mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have what? Pity. Look, when the Most High don't have pity. See, when the Most High has reached a level of fury and anger with you, to the point that he's not going to have pity upon you, truly you have reached a very critical stage. Look what he says here. I will send mine anger upon thee. I will judge thee according to thy ways. My eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thy abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know. That's the impact.
That's the impact.
See, that's the impact. And what is it that we're going to know? We're going to know, and ye shall know that I am Yah. The world we living in, they don't know Yah. They don't know Yah. They know God. They know the Lord. See, they know Jesus, but they don't know Yah. See, we know Yah. Those of us whom he has woken up, we know Yah. Why? Because we are what? Drinking from the cup of Yah. When you look at our condition and the condition that we're in, as individuals and as a collective, see, these conditions are indicative of the curses that the Most High has poured out upon us. And listen, there is no escape from this. And it is being manifested in our very lives. You understand what I'm saying? When you look for Israel, you must look for a people who Most High don't have no pity on. See, you got to look for a people who the Most High has poured out his what? Fury upon. Now, how are those things manifested, you all? See, how are we to detect the validity of these things? Yes. Oh, the condition. See, the condition that we're in. See, because our condition should be reflective of the curses and the fury that the Most High has poured out upon us. See, and when you look at our condition, then you know that the word of the Most High is what? True. And they shall know. See, we know who done this to us. And we know why. See, in the 18th chapter of the book of Jeremiah, the Most High says that I'm going to frame evil. Yes. Isn't that something? Against you. Yeah, Bishop. See, I'm going to frame evil against you. Yeah. See, The transatlantic slave trade was what? Evil. See? The Euro-American slave system experience was what? Evil. See? The conditions that we're in our neighborhoods, look, I see them. We in them. That's evil. The attitude that the other nations have when they look upon us, see, it's evil. This is what the Most High has done. Look what he says here. He says, wherefore will I bring the worst of, it says here in the 24th verse, it says, the worst of the heathen. But see, that's translated, herefore will I bring the worst of the nations. See, and this is what he has done. See, this European, he's the worst of the nations that he has brought against us. And what has he devised against us? The concept of race. And what has the concept of race done to us? It has dehumanized us. It has destroyed our humanity. And it has allowed him to justify the cruelty and the brutality that he has poured out upon us. See, this is the worst of the nations. See, and when you look at our community, and you look at the people in our community, and how they are suffering under this condition that the Most High has poured out upon us. See, we got to be able to put these things in what? Their proper what?
Perspective.
Their proper historical. This is your history. And this is your story. See? And the Most High says, and ye shall know. See? Germans don't know nothing. The Italians don't know nothing. See? The English don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. See? They don't know nothing about Yah. They can't stand on this. We need to be clear on this. See? And the situation is so critical until we get emotional about it. See? Because we are just the adjective that I want to use. We're just waning under the blows of this condition. Now, let's turn to the, because I want you to understand something. Let's turn to the 17th chapter of the book of Genesis. I want to start reading at the 6th verse. What is this? This is the Abrahamic covenant. See, we just finished reading out of the 7th chapter of the book of Ezekiel. And you know, I might have dramatized it. You know, I wanted to, but now I need to give you some relief. See, so that you can understand that although the Most High said he didn't have no pity on you, and although the Most High said that he has poured out his fury upon you, we want to understand and be able to put that into its proper perspective, don't we? This is Abraham's covenant. This is what they call the Abrahamic covenant. Who established the Abrahamic covenant, you all? And he established it with Abraham. Is that right? Yeah. Look what it says here. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful. And I will make nations of thee. and kings shall come out of thee. Look, this is the impact verse. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, look, and thy seed after thee. Where?
In their generations.
In their generations, what?
For an everlasting covenant.
Look, to be a heir unto thee, and to thy what?
Seed after thee.
Listen what it says in the 8th verse. And I will give unto thee, and to thy what?
Seed after thee.
The land wherein thou art a stranger, and all the land of Canaan. That's why we sing that song. Woe Israel, Canaan belongs to you. See, that's where that comes from. See, woe Israel, Canaan belongs to. If you what? If you live right, if you keep the commandments, see, it's conditioned. See, and Yah said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Listen, we are the seed
All right now.
of Abraham.
Yes.
That's who we are.
Yes.
And whenever you see the seed, you're talking about us. We have endured, you all, and we need to understand that. In the 7th verse of the book of, 7th chapter of the book of Ezekiel, when the Most High was talking about pouring out his fury and that he was not going to have any pity, it was because we have broken the covenant. See? And as a result of breaking the covenant, we stand responsible for the consequences thereof. We have endured. 89th chapter of the book of Psalms. I have to read this because of what we just read in the 7th chapter of the book of Ezekiel. I'm going to start reading at the 28th verse. Y'all got it?
Okay.
This particular reading is epitomized through David. But everything conditioned upon David is solidified in Yahshua. And everything solidified in Yahshua is based upon Israel. So when it's speaking here, it's speaking in reference to the nation of Israel and the covenant that the Most High has established with the nation of Israel. Because sometimes we have a tendency to forget that the Most High knows all. See, and the Most High has seen all. Look what it says here in the 28th verse. My mercy, you would think that after reading the 7th chapter of the book of Ezekiel that the Most High would not have, but see, the Most High does. Look, my mercy will I keep for him. How long?
Forevermore.
And my covenant shall stand fast with him. Look what it says in the 29th verse. His seed also will I make to what?
Endure.
How long?
Forever.
And his throne as the days of heaven.
Yes.
Look, this is the key, y'all. If his children forsake my law, which we did.
Yes.
See? Which we did. Did we not?
Yes, we did.
If his children forsake my law and walk not in my judgments. See? We did all this. Look what it says in 31. If they break my statutes Didn't we break them?
Yes, we did. Yes, we
We
did.
broke every last one of them.
Every last one of them.
See? And keep not my commandments. Didn't we break all the commandments? See? Then will I visit their transgressions with the rod. What's the rod? The rod is the nations. The rod is the slave system experience. The rod is the conditions that has beat us to a what? Pulp. See? And their iniquity with stripes. These are the scars that are on us as a people.
Yeah.
So much so that when you ask us, what is your name? We reply, Negro, colored, black, African American, coon, shy, pickaninny, porch monkey, etc. See, these are the scribes. Look what it says here. Nevertheless,
Nevertheless.
my loving kindness will I not what? Utterly. I'm going to beat you down, but I'm not going to destroy you utterly. Will I not utterly take from him, nor suffer my what?
Faithfulness.
To what?
To fail.
That's why we still exist in the day.
All right now.
That's why we still here, y'all.
Be faithful.
Because the Most High has not utterly taken his faithfulness from us. Look what it says in 34. My covenant will I not break. We broke it. We broke it. But the Most High said that he ain't gonna break it. Look what it says here. After the thing that is gone out of my lips. Look, 35. Once have I sworn by my holiness
All right.
that I will not lie.
To God be.
So when people tell you that there are no Israelites, that the Most High destroyed them because they rebelled, because they didn't keep the commandments, because they didn't keep the statutes, because they didn't keep the ordinances.
Yeah.
See, when they tell you that,
Hear him there.
only thing that you gotta tell them, can God lie? Can y'all lie? Can he lie?
No. You don't lie.
Look what it says here. His seed
All right.
shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me.
Right.
This is fulfilled in Yahshua. But more so than ever, the spirit of Yah. Why? Because it was the spirit of Yah that made Yahshua the what? The Mashiach. Look what it says here. This is the key. It shall be established forever as the moon and as a faithful witness in heaven. See, but thou hast cast off and abhorred, thou hast been wrought with thy what? Anointed. This is what we need to be able to understand, you all. We have drunk from the cup of Yah. And it is a cup of what? Trembling. And we have manifested the curse thereof. We want to take a look, a little but more in-depth look at someone who has drunk from the cup of Yah in the book of Acts. And I want us to go back to the 21st chapter. Look what it says here, starting at the 18th verse. And the day following Paul went in with us unto James, and all the elders were present. And when it's saying all of the elders, speaking of all of the elders, some of the disciples, and when they had saluted them, and when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things El had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry. And when they heard it, they glorified Yah, and said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Israelites there are which believe, and they are all zealous of the law. Here we're dealing with a transition period. Because, our ancestors, they were hardcore with the law. Is that right? See, but they failed to realize something unique. And that is that the law was merely a what? Set of instructions. The law didn't give you no power to keep it. It only demonstrated what? Right from wrong. Look what it says here. 21. And they are informed of thee that thou teachest all the Israelites which are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses. And this is what they accused, this is what our ancestors, the Israelites, accused Paul of. See, because they accused Paul of teaching that you don't have to keep the law no more. See, but what aspect of the law was Paul talking about, you all?
Sacrificial.
There you go. See, he was talking about the sacrificial part of the law.
Right, that's true.
Had been what? Fulfilled through Yahshua.
That's it.
See?
That's right.
Saying that they ought not to circumcise their children, neither to walk after the customs. What is it therefore? The multitudes must need come together, for they will hear that thou art come. Do therefore this, that we say to thee, we have 4 men which have a vow on them. Them take and purify themselves with them, and be at charges with them, that they may shave their heads and all the... We want to jump all the way down to the 27th verse. This is the controversy that raged, and this is the controversy that still rages today. And when the 7 days were almost ended, the Israelites which were of Asia, when they saw him in the temple, stirred up all the people and laid hands on him, talking about Paul, crying out, Men of Israel, help! This is the man that teaches all men everywhere against the people and the law and this place, and further brought Greeks also into the temple and have polluted this holy place. There was a controversy that raged, and this controversy still rages today. See, and it concerns the law and how the law is to be interpreted by Israel and how we are supposed to understand the administration thereof. Look what it says here. Look what it says here. For they had seen before him in the cities of Trypholis of Ephesians, whom they supposed that Paul had brought into the temple. That was the Gentiles. And as they went about to kill him, talking about the Apostle Paul, tidings came unto the chief captain of the band that all Jerusalem was in an uproar, who immediately took soldiers and centurions and ran down unto them. And when they saw the chief captain and the soldiers, they left beating Paul. When the Romans came, the Israelites, you know how Israelites are. When the police come.
That's small.
They stopped beating them and ran. This is Paul, you all, drinking from the cup of Yah. This is Paul drinking from the cup of Yah. Now look what it says. 33. Then the chief captain came near and took him and commanded him to be bound with 2 chains and demanded who he was and what he had done. See, because Israel had lost the ability. They had become a vessel unto who? Rome. See, and they couldn't just beat nobody because they were no longer under their own rule and under their own power. Look what it says. And some cried one thing and another among the multitude. And when he could not know the certainty for the turmoil, he commanded him to be carried unto the castle. And when he came upon the stairs, so it was that he was borne of the soldiers for the violence of the people. They'd almost beat the man half to death. For the multitude of the people followed after, crying, "Away with him!" This is what the Israelites were saying. Same thing that they did to Yahshua. Look what it says here. And as Paul was to be led unto the castle, he said unto the chief captain, "May I speak unto thee?" Who said, "Canst thou speak Greek? Art not thou that what?"
Egyptian.
They thought Paul was an Egyptian. That right there, that's another indication of how the Israelites look. Every picture that I've ever seen Paul was projected, he was always projected as a what?
White man, white.
See? But right here, the white man thought that he was a what? An Egyptian. We know how the Egyptians look.
Black, that was that one.
See? We know how the Egyptians look. Let's read on. Art thou now that Egyptian, which before these days made us an uproar, and lead us out unto the wilderness, 4,000 men that were murderers? But Paul said, I am a man which am a Israelite of Tyrus, a city of Sicilia, a citizen of no mean city, and I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto the people. And when he had given him license, Paul stood in the stairs and beckoned with the hand upon the people. And when there was made a great silence, he spoke unto them how? In the Hebrew tongue. He spoke Hebrew unto them. Why? Because most of them that were calling for his life was what?
Hebrew
Israelites. See? Same. This is the key, y'all. See, this is the key. Because most of our dealings are going to be with what? Israelites. Blind Israelites. Who don't know who they are.
That's right.
Who have been indoctrinated into a teaching.
Right.
See, and they are the ones that look at you like you crazy.
Right.
When you tell them who you are. Now look what Paul said. Who was probably more educated than all of them. Look what he said. 22. Men, brethren, and fathers, hear ye my defense, which I make now unto you. He's speaking this in Hebrew. And when they heard that he spake in the Hebrew tongue to them, they kept the more silence. And he said, I am verily a man which am a Israelite, born in Tyrus, a city in Sicilia, yet being brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and of the zealous toward El, as ye all are this day. Look what it says here. And I persecuted this way unto death. I love this, you all. Because Paul is telling them, look here. I used to do to people what y'all want to do to me. And I was the most zealous of them all.
Yep.
Look what he says here. I persecuted this way unto the death, meaning that when I got them, I persecuted them what? To death. Look what he says here. Binding and delivering unto prison both men and women, as also the high priest doeth bear me witness, all the estate of the elders, whom I also received letters unto the brethren, and went to Damascus to bring them which were bound unto Jerusalem for to be punished. Look what Paul says. And it came to pass that as I made my journey and was come nigh unto Damascus about noon, suddenly there shone from heaven a great light about me, and I fell unto the ground, and I heard a voice saying unto me, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And I answered, Who art thou, Master? And he said unto me, I am Yeshua of Nazareth, whom thou persecutest. And they that were with me saw indeed the light, and were afraid, but they heard not the voice of him that spake to me. And I said, What shall I do, Master? And the master said unto me, Arise, go into Damascus, and there it should be told thee of all the things which are appointed for thee to do. Drop down to the 14th verse. And he said, The El of our fathers hath chosen thee, that thou shouldest know his will, and see that just one, and shouldest hear the voice of his mouth. For thou shalt be his witness unto all men of what thou hast seen and heard. 16th verse. And now why tarriest thou? And be baptized, and wash away thy sins, calling on the name of Yah. Look what it says here. And it came to pass that when I came again to Jerusalem, even while I prayed in the temple, I was in a trance, and I saw him saying unto me, Make haste and get thee quickly out of Jerusalem, for they will not receive thy testimony concerning me. And I said, Master, they know that I imprisoned and beat in every synagogue them that believed on thee. Look what it says in the 20th verse. And when the blood of thy martyr Stephen was shed, y'all know who Stephen was, right? Yeah. I also was standing by the way, and consenting unto his death, and kept the raiment, that means the clothes, of them that slew him. And he said unto me, Depart, for I will send thee far thence unto the Gentiles. What are we saying? We're saying that the Apostle Paul had to what? Drink from the cup of Yah. And it was a drink of trembling unto him, because his transformation brought him into subjection to the persecution of the Israelites. Here was a man who had persecuted the Israelites, who believed that Yeshua was the Messiah. See? And now here he was himself teaching that Yeshua was the Messiah. They didn't believe him at first. See? But because the Most High had what? Anointed him with the Spirit of Yah, which is the most powerful force in the universe, he was able to endure. What are we saying? We're saying that power is the ability to act or to produce a specific ability or faculty. Great ability to do, act, or affect strongly. Power is vigor, force, strength, the ability to control others, authority, sway, influence, special authority assigned. And that's what happens when the anointing is present. Power denotes the inherent ability or the admitted right to rule, govern, and determine. There's an aspect of authority which refers to the power to give commands, enforce obedience, and make decisions. Jurisdiction refers to the power to rule or decide with certain defined limits. Dominion. See, all of this comes where? With the anointing. This is what we need to understand. That there is a power that has the ability to impart to us a level of consciousness that knows no fear, no doubt, no uncertainty, no limitations, no bounds, no worry. And we must never ever allow ourselves to be intimidated by the circumstances that we encounter in our journey through life, as we all what? Drink from the cup of Yah. See, the only way that we're not going to be intimidated is that we are rooted in what? The spirit of Yah. We've got to have confidence in what the word of Yah says about us. We must know and understand that we have a spiritual identity that provides us with a spiritual solution to any and every crisis that confronts us. When we know and understand that, we will never ever allow ourselves to be intimidated by any challenge that would confront us, no matter what it is. Why? Because we're on a mission.
All right now.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
We're on a mission.
Yes.
Our mission is to motivate, inspire, and empower our community to begin to challenge what we have been taught about who we are as a collective. We want to dare to think a new thought. You got to dare to think a new thought. We want to dare to be independent in the way that we think. We have been mesmerized, you all, and overwhelmed by the slave system experience. We have been beat down. See, and when we define overwhelmed, it means to pour down upon.
Yeah.
This is what the slave system experience has done to us.
Yeah.
It has poured down upon us.
Yeah.
See, and covered over or buried us where? Beneath.
Yeah.
To make helpless. See, we're helpless, y'all. Or should I say we have become helpless.
Right.
As with great force or deep emotion, overcome, crush, overpower, to overthrow and overturn. This is what has happened to us. And as we confront this condition, we've got to understand that this is what we're dealing with.
Right.
So when they look upon you, see, and when they berate you, and when they look at you like you crazy, you've got to understand why they're doing it. We're so used to looking at ourselves through the lens of the American slave system experience until it's hard. Is it hard?
Yes.
It's hard for us to see our true selves. See, and it's easy for us to say that we're Israel, but it's hard for us to see that we are. And it's hard for our people to see that we are. And this is why we got to understand that it takes power. Y'all sitting there.
Yeah.
I understand. Because it takes power.
Yeah.
Take 5.
See, It takes power to overcome, y'all. Look here. I'm telling you, it takes power. See, and we can't fail in the midst of this challenge. See, because it takes power to overcome the things of this world. Do you hear me? It takes power to overcome hate. It takes power to love your enemy. It takes power to love those who spitefully persecute you. It takes power to walk upright before Yah. It takes power not to live in fear. It takes power to repent. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
It takes power to not to despise the chastening of the Most High. Did you know that?
Yes.
It takes power to humble yourself. It takes power to discipline and renew your mind. It takes power to pull down the strongholds. It takes power to rejoice. Listen, you all. It takes power to rejoice in the midst of trials and tribulations. It takes power to keep Yah's laws and his commandments and his statutes and his ordinances. This is why our ancestors fell short, because they didn't have no power to keep the Most High's rules and regulations. It takes power to overcome low self-esteem. Listen, see, it takes power, you all. It takes power to overcome the emotional turmoil that is crystallizing your spiritual joints. It takes power. It takes power to overcome the effects of insecurity in one's life. It takes power to overcome disappointment. See, this is what we got to understand. And when we come on the Sabbath day, we're coming to what? Renew our spirits.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
We're coming to encourage one another.
Yes.
See, to maintain the course. See, we're coming to let one another, let each other know that, hey, I'm here for you. You see what I'm saying? I'm in agreement with you. See, I'm encouraging you to go forward. I'm encouraging you, what? Stand strong.
Yeah.
See, I know that it's hard. I know that it's shaky.
Yeah.
See, I know that things have come against you. Y'all, look here.
Yeah, we do. We with
Look
you.
here.
We with you.
Each one of us is going through something.
Hallelujah.
Is that right?
Every one of us.
The one of you in here who is not going through something, raise your hand. The only one that can raise their hand really is TJ that I'll accept. See, because he's still under the protection of his mother. See, but the rest of us in here, see, I know we're going through something. See, because that's the calling, that's the cup of Yah that you're drinking from. And this is what we need to understand. I'm going to close off with this here. Let's go to the book of Hebrews. We'll be done. Yahshua is our what?
Example.
There you go. Yahshua is our example. Look what it says here. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight. Is that what we just talked about? When we talked about power? How it took power? Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us. And let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Don't y'all know that we in a journey towards spiritual perfection? See, we got to win this thing, y'all. Look what it says here. looking unto Yahshua, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured. They got here the cross. But I don't even have to go into that. That's another message. We'll deal with that at another time. But what he did endure was the persecution that was set before him. And that's actually what it means when it talks about the cross. But we know that the cross is false doctrine. But anyway, we're talking about the persecution that Yahshua endured. And who did he endure it from?
Our people.
He endured it from his own people. Israelites. See, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of El. Look what it says in the third voice. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against him, lest ye be weary. Don't we get weary sometimes? I know I do. Don't we get weary sometimes? See, for consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against him, lest ye get weary and faint. Where? Where you gonna faint at?
In your mind.
In your mind. In your mind. Look what it says. For ye have not resisted unto blood, meaning ye ain't resisted unto death. Ain't none of us resisted unto death. Yet. Striving against transgression. Look what it says. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as children. My son, this is the key, y'all. This is the key. And this is the thought that we want to leave you with. My son and daughters, despise not thou the chastening of Yah. Isn't that something? That's what we're going through. We're going through the chastening. Now, you know what chastening means, don't you?
Chastisement.
Chastening means punishment to make pure. It means correcting punishment. Not punishment for the sake of punishment. Punishment to put you on the what? Right path. See? Anybody trying to destroy you, if the Most High wanted to destroy us, we wouldn't be here.
That's right.
See, if he wanted to destroy us, but the Most High is chastening us so that we can be found on the right path in our journey towards spiritual perfection. That's where we're going. Ain't that where we're going?
That's where we're on our way.
See, we're on a journey towards spiritual perfection, y'all. And as we endure, let's not grow faint. See, look what it says here. I love this. My son, despise not the chastening of Yah, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. See, look what it says in the 6th verse, and this is the impact verse. For whom Yah loveth, he chastens.
That's right.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? For he's correcting us. We got to be corrected, you all. For we have rebelled. See? For whom Yah loveth, he chastens. And look what it says here. And scourge every son. It says son, but actually it means son and daughter. Every son and daughter whom he receives. I love that. Look what it says here. If ye endure. That's all I want to do, y'all. I want to drink all that's in the cup of Yah. Why? Because the Most High said, I'm going to bring you through the fiery furnace of affliction. Our job is to endure. And we're not going to be able to endure if we don't have the spirit of Yah. Look what it says here. If ye endure chastening, I love this, you all. El dealeth with you as with what?
Sons.
Sons. Woo! That's it.
All right.
If you endure. Look what it says here. For what son is he whom the Father
Jesus.
chases not? Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful, you all? Our job is to endure until the end. Sometimes you don't think you're going to make it. Y'all think y'all going to make it out there? Sometimes you think you ain't going to make it. The thing gets so rough. You go through so long. How long do I have to endure? See? How long do I have to suffer with this thing? This thing is beating me down. How long? See? But it's part of drinking from the cup of Yah. See? Let's drink it all, y'all. See what I'm saying? See, we got to pray to the Most High. We got to ask the Most High for His Spirit. When the Spirit of Yah has come, see, it takes care of all of that.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Hallelujah.
It gives us the power that we need to overcome.
Yes, yes, yes.
We got to run this race, y'all.
Hallelujah.
We got to overcome. Words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. Oh, Yah, our strength and our Redeemer.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom.